welcome ESPN to our audience tonight. You're looking at the Western Athletic Conference Basketball Championship game. There's a nice reverse layup along the baseline by Chris Sandel. And it's a 4-2 ball game, Wyoming leading.
This kid is really key tonight for the Miners. He's got to stay out of foul trouble. He'll get all he wants from Summers. Summers is an absolute animal on defense. He beats you to the blocks.
It's Reggie Fox outside with a drive. That's Dembo under pressure. Whistle and a foul in the battle for the rebound. It'll go against Mr. Lechner.
Lechner was on the back as Campbell blocked out effectively. The Miners have lost Antonio Davis with a fractured ankle. Chris Blocker is ineligible. That's two you can't afford to lose. They're down to 8 players. Really only play 5. They'll bring a couple in early just to stay out of foul trouble.
And they played well without Blocker, who was a possible candidate for the all-conference team. Ball tapped away, but regained very nicely by Hardaway. Tried to clear and throws the ball away.
Turned it over twice now, and they just can't afford to do that. Wyoming's got a lot of athletes. They'll try and shorten the game by using a lot of clock. You can see Wyoming is on an absolute roll. They egged Benny D's house in the middle of the season. Now he can run for governor.
Dembo with a drive.
I believe.
Offensive foul is called, and Dembo picks up his first foul of the ball game. We have one on Lechner, we have one on Dembo.
But that's a good move by Fennis Dembo. He's very good at penetration, and he needs to do this. Look at Stallworth move his feet, though. You play the game of basketball with your feet, not your hands. You only play 5 minutes with the hands, 40 with the feet, and Stallworth has got as good a feet as anybody in this league.
Wyoming 4-2. Prince Stewart with a pass low baseline. Campbell can't get the shot away. Back to Stewart from the corner. Battle for the rebound. That draws a whistle. We got another foul.
Sandel had him pinned down. Jimmy Clark spots it. Here's Sandel. He's out of Long Beach. Started out at Arizona State for Bobby Weinhauer, then transferred.
2 fouls against Wyoming and 1 against UTEP thus far in the ball game. Again, Wyoming with a record of 25-5, UTEP with a record of 23-8. 2 very solid ball clubs out of the Western Athletic Conference, but they throw it away in and out of the hands of Fennis Dembo.
There's the Bear. Here's a man who's got a street named for him down in El Paso. That's something, huh, Bill?
UTEP makes a regular visit to the Western Athletic Conference Championship game.
That's on Summers, pounding away at Sandel.
Summers, number 54 from Evergreen, Colorado.
He had football scholarships from every team in the WAC and the Big 8. I mean, this is a man. Now, they've got 10 fouls to give on Sandel. With this guy and Willie Jones, they'll use all of them. The whole key is to beat Sandel to the blocks, much like Summers did in the semifinal last night against Pat Durham from CSU.
Hardaway with the ball right now set a new record for assists in the league. A jumper from well outside does not fall by Stallworth. Clears into the corner. The jumper by Sandel. And he has 4.
Pretty good basketball player. Sprained his ankle on Tuesday.
We're tied. Robin Davis, baseline. Hangs, doesn't go. Rebound on the floor, taken out of there by Stallworth. The Miners with the ball.
They will run. Bill, they don't like to do that, but when they get an opportunity, they'll take advantage.
How about that move by Campbell? As he scores 2, his average is 10 per game.
See, a lot of people feel sorry for the Miners because they've only got 8 people dressed. You keep in mind, there's a lot of athletic ability out there. Watch their footwork. That'll give it away. They'll let this kid shoot.
Summers missed that shot. Goes all the way outside to Fox. We go all over again. Nice pass to Lechner. Soft and good.
Well, he's got all 6 points. Eric Lechner has as good a natural instincts with his back to the basket as any big man. He came in dead even with another guy named Lodge, and we'll see a little later as freshman. He has improved so much.
Outside, Hardaway, Tim Hardaway. Swing it over to the angle to Prince Stewart. Nice move by Sandel. Under duress, has to come back outside.
Saw the job that Summers did, though. He stayed in there tough.
Campbell, as he made his move and his turn, the ball just slipped right out of his hand. We're at break time. 15:33, first half of the ball game. Scoreboard reads break and play. 6 for UTEP, 6 for Wyoming.
Take a look at Campbell. Here's a guy who hurt his leg so bad against ASU 2 years ago. They never thought he'd play again. Look at the big knee brace. He gets a solid effort there as we look at the field goal percentage.
3 out of 5, 3 out of 6. Wyoming shooting at 50%. UTEP shooting a little bit better than that. We're tied at 6-6. Reggie Fox with the ball. And Hardaway for company.
Campbell's trying to front Lechner. Thus far, he's had no luck at all, and Haskins really got after him during the timeout.
Bit of a difference in weight there. A steal, Hardaway with the ball. Miners running, Campbell dishes off nicely, and there's a whistle and a foul on the drive by Sandel.
Second foul by Summers. Let's see if they get Willie Jones in there. The Miners really capitalize on that turnover. I watch them go coast to coast here now. Here they go. Campbell doesn't have the shot, so he dishes to Sandel. Sandel gets hammered, so that could work out better for UTEP if they bury the two. All right, Wyoming will make some wholesale substitutions. Sean Dent, Turk Boyd, and Willie Jones are in.
Benny Dees huddling with the new guys on the floor right now. Sean Dent was a starter early in the season, and Dees decided he had to take him out because he wasn't hitting his shots.
Well, he can't shoot, but I'll tell you what he can do. He can flat cover, and he's the best ball handler on Wyoming's team.
Free throws for Sandel. Good free throw shooter, 70% for the year. He has 5 points in the game.
Sandel and Stallworth were teammates at Long Beach Poly High School. Ron Powell is their coach, now the head man at Long Beach College.
Sandel hardly disturbs the net. He has 6. 8-6 scoreboard reading with UTEP out front by a pair as Dent will bring it up right now. Hardaway to meet him.
Watch the action inside, Bill, with Campbell and Lechner. That's the key. They'll try and punch it in there. Campbell gives up about 50 pounds, and he's trying to front him. No easy task.
Dembo, is there a shot? Yes. Or was it a pass? In any event, it must have been tapped in that case. We're going the other way with UTEP. Nice pass in low. No shot available. Forsooth Campbell whips it back outside again. They've been able to get the ball inside.
They're trying to come out and pressure. That makes it tough to dive the post, particularly when you got Sandel. Jones is on Sandel now. Lechner has Campbell.
This is Sandel with the ball. Jones on him.
Shot clock to 16. They'll use it as much as they can.
Stallworth under pressure in the corner by Dembo. A steal. Taken out of there by Jones.
This is where they kill you.
Great steal by the man in the middle. Hardaway, and we're going the other way. The hook doesn't fall. Hardaway gets it back. Reverse layup, scores 2.
They do this very well, Bill. They'll get the stickbacks. They got killed on the backboards the last time they played Wyoming, but they're always very good on the offensive glass. They just seem to have the instincts to go where the ball is.
UTEP beaten up pretty badly on the glass last night by Brigham Young.
Very much so. This guy's been the offense. He has all 6 points. You got to get Dembo involved. There he is.
Dembo with the three-pointer. Shot not good. Rebound taken out of there by Hardaway. We go to work with the Miners in command of the ball and the lead, 10-6.
Big man stands up. Haskins tells him to slow down. He started coaching the UTEP before any of his current players were born. He'd probably tell you he's only 39.
Won the NCAA championship year 1966. He beat a team coached by the Baron.
Adolph Rupp. The school was known as Texas Western. Nobody even knew Haskins.
Scramble for the ball in the lane. We got a whistle. We have a jump ball.
See who's got the arrow. It goes to UTEP. They try to go with penetration.
On that Kentucky team, by the way, Pat Riley was a star.
That's right. There's Norm Ellenberger next to the Bears. We also look at Benny Dees. Benny, I should say, played at Wyoming for Ev Shelton.
Also a pretty good baseball player. Alley-oop, Sandel for 2.
Well, they're on a tear now. That's a 12-2 run for UTEP. And they have been on a mission. They came in here and won last week against BYU in the conference finale. Beat New Mexico, beat BYU. Look out.
Lechner, shot block. Taken out of there, Prince Stewart, the man in the middle for the UTEP Miners. Lost the ball. Going the other way, Dembo tried to feed, and again Hardaway, who is playing a great tournament all week long, knocked the ball out of bounds.
Somehow he gets back. Normally, the transition game is something Haskins does a good job of stopping because he chokes the guard. By that, I mean he jams the outlet pass. This time with the turnover, they're dead in the water, and Hardaway hustle. Look out, there's the man.
Dembo with a monstrous dunk. His first 2 of the ball game.
You know, he was good enough in high school as a split end to be offered a scholarship by New Mexico State. He's got everything you need. All he has to do is have 40 minutes of concentration. Last night, he was absolutely the best. Better than last year in the NCAA tournament.
Prince Stewart at the angle. They go low. That's Sandals. Boxed in. Stewart didn't play much early in the year, but he's getting a lot of playing time now. Quality minutes. Hardaway. Campbell. The shot doesn't go. The rebound taken out of there by Jones. Wyoming with the ball.
See if they can punch it inside the 43 Lechner. Eric has Campbell on him.
Dent with the ball at the deep wing. Dembo, does he find any daylight? Not really, so he shoots it outside. Battle for the rebound, out of bounds. It'll go to UTEP. We have a timeout. 11:30 till halftime. UTEP 12, Wyoming 8. Let's take a look at action.
All right, here's Spence Dembo, picks up his first bucket. He's so strong, got that great basketball body, recruited out of San Antonio by Jim Brandenburg. He goes up and gets a deuce.
You were a referee for many, many years. What do you do with a guy like Dembo who's so expressive on the court?
Well, listen, if he, I don't think, as we look at the rebounds, which really surprised me, I don't think a guy like Dembo does anything to the referees. What he does is get after the visiting crowd. And, you know, an NBA scout should always look at how somebody plays on the road. This guy is not intimidated by a crowd. All Fennis needs to truly be great is 40 minutes of concentration. When Lechner had foul problems last night, Dembo was sensational. Took over the game.
Sandal on a move, draws a whistle, and a foul on the team in white.
See, right now, everything is in Haskins' favor. The foul count is perfect for him. He's only committed 1 foul, 11-10 left in the half. Wyoming has committed 5. They haven't really had to use their legs a lot, and they're dead in the legs because they just don't have a lot of players. They laid around and rested all day long today. And what really surprised me, Bill, they've out-rebounded Wyoming.
They've been a good board team in past years. They were ferocious on the boards down through the years. But this year, of course, they've lost their height and their bulk.
Well, they lost Antonio Davis the first night of the tournament when he fractured his ankle. Looked like a Joe Theismann injury. Wyoming in their 2-3 now. UTEP content to take it down to 5 seconds. You think Haskins is tough now? You should have seen him when there was no clock and he had Tiny Archibald. They'd hold it forever.
Sean Dent in the corner. They go outside to Sandal. Lost the ball. Big scramble for it. Regained by Sandal. Pull-up jumper. He has 10 already in this game tonight.
He has been absolutely terrific. Didn't even think he'd play because he turned an ankle over.
14-8 scoreboard reading with UTEP out front of the ball game. 10:20 to go till halftime. Championship game, UTEP, Wyoming. The winner gets an automatic berth to the NCAA.
Look at him fall off Dent. They'll let him shoot all night long, but that's the problem because then he gets great penetration. He gets an angle.
Tried to go to the post, knocked away, and gets it back.
Alley-oop.
Alley-oop scored by Dembo.
Well, I'll tell you, Dent did all you could ask for.
Checking back into the ball game for UTEP at the next break and play is Prince Stewart.
Kid with the basketball right now is Mark McCall, redshirt freshman.
Stallworth guilty of an offensive foul. Call made by Jimmy Clark.
There's Benny Dees. Benny used to coach women's basketball. He said he just beat on one coach, beat her by 2 points, and ended up marrying her.
Also in the Williams. 2 fouls on UTEP, 5 on Wyoming at this point in time. 9:41 to go till halftime. Backcourt, the Cowboys to put the ball in play. They've really not been able to run effectively tonight. Mainly because Hardaway's gotten back so well. Broken up a couple of 3-and-1s.
Tough matchup here now. Williams has Dembo. That's tough.
Dembo buries one outside, a 2-point shot. Very close to 3-point range.
See, he's the kind of guy that'll come off a pick, he releases it quick, and he'll make the big shot. That's what the NBA is looking for, a guy like that. He played the 2 guard. He has everything you need. All he needs is that tremendous concentration from 40.
14-12 scoreboard reading. UTEP by a pair. Sandal with a one-on-one move that all lost him the ball and will running the other way with Wyoming. Long lead pass. We've got Turk Boyd on the tag end of it. He scores his first 2.
That's where Wyoming, in my opinion, is as dangerous as anybody. They've tied it, and they've done it because of turnovers. UTEP has turned it over about 4 or 5 times, and Wyoming normally gets layups at the other end when that happens.
Prince Stewart under pressure from Turk Boyd. They swing it back outside. Sandel doesn't want that shot. Hardaway does. Doesn't drop, and Lechner wipes the glass. Big dude from Manhattan Beach, California.
Boy, has this thing turned around since Denton Boyd came in at the guard line.
Dembo lost it momentarily, gets it back. He'll pull up with the jumper. Rebound taken out of there nicely by the Miners. Boy, they're really scrambling on the glass. Hardaway with a feed to Prince Stewart. Ball knocked out of his hands and out of bounds. It'll be played in by UTEP.
Look who hustled back, though, to stop the transition game. Sean Dent. You give up offense with Sean Dent and Turk Boyd in for Robin Davis and Reggie Fox, but you really get some defense. Stallworth back in.
Stallworth will inbound the ball. Terry Stallworth, Long Beach, California. Lob pass goes outside to Prince Stewart. That's Hardaway. Zone defense offered by the Cowboys. We're in the first half. We have 7:57 to go till halftime. We're tied, Twin 14s. Miners content, incidentally, to shorten the game. In and out of the hands of a couple of players, eventually corralled by Wyoming. They're running again. They got Turk Boyd again.
Devastating turnovers. Boy, do they get it coast to coast. Game is totally turned around. Sandel had it under control with his scoring early. They had the lead. Now they're down. 7:23 left. Wyoming leads by a deuce.
You got a feeling they practice on I-80.
I'll tell you, Benny D's done a great job there. All kinds of pressure. Came in, high expectations. 4th in the country preseason. They weren't that good early. They played no defense. Now they're very much together. This team could be a force in the NCAA playoffs.
Stallworth from afar buries the 3-point bomb.
He's done that all year long. He's their best cover man. He can shoot it from the outside. Gets very little ink.
He's a junior. He'll be around next year. And we understand the Bear has some good recruits coming in as Lechner pounds one home for his 8th point of the game.
No backside help. Campbell doing all he can, but he's got a man to take on Lechner. Lechner's got a soft pair of hands.
18-17 scoreboard reading with the Cowboys out front by 1 point. Eddie Williams, Baton Rouge. They come from afar to go to the Bear in El Paso. Prince Stewart from the corner. It is a 2-point shot as Stewart buries it and gets his first 2.
Hardaway set that up with his penetration to help win inside, and that opens up Stewart.
That gives the Miners a lead by 1 once again. Lechner high, doesn't want that shot. Dent certainly doesn't want that. We got Boyd tied up in the lane. We got a whistle and a foul. Foul call, and the man who tied him up, Tim Hardaway. First foul.
Sandel will come back in the game. David Lodgins will come in.
Robin Davis will check in.
We got 4 of them here waiting to come in. We got a timeout first.
With timeout called, 5:57 remaining in the first half of the ball game. It's a good one. We expected it. 19 for UTEP, 18 for the Wyoming Cowboys. We'll be back.
Leads at 19-18. Eric Lechner has 8. A real load inside. Gets the basketball. A backside help in there, and Eric with the jam. Lechner has 8. Dembo has 6. The only other Cowboy to score, Bill, is Turk Boyd. Picked up a couple of layups. There's the story of the game. UTEP has 7 turnovers. That ain't going to do it when you're going against a team with as much depth as Wyoming has.
Wyoming scored 10 points on those turnovers. Outside, Sean Dent.
This is Haskins' 3-2. He got it from John Bach. The assistant coach for the Bulls. The weakness is they can get it inside. There's no size. There it is.
Follow up by Lodgins for 2.
This Lodgins played a lot of basketball as a freshman. He was dead even with Lechner. His playing time has gone down. Now he's a senior.
And so is Lechner. So next year they'll be looking for a pivot man. 20-19 with the Cowboys out front by 1. From well outside. How about that? 3-point shot by Mark McCall, a freshman from El Paso.
See, he can shoot it pretty good. And he runs and jumps. His problem is Haskins turns around and says, where'd he come from? The problem this guy has is Williams gets a foul. The problem McCall has, he can't cover it. If you can't cover, you don't play a lot for Haskins. Now, how about the Bear? In the heat of the battle, he's going for the championship, turns around and says, where'd he come from?
Didn't play him much early in the year, of course, because he had, well, he had a lot of material.
Yeah. There's Williams out of Baton Rouge with a foul. Haskins is an Iba disciple. Henry Iba from the old Oklahoma A&M school. That means you must play defense.
Turk Boyd will inbound the ball. They go well outside to Sean Dent. Last night's win was as gutty a performance I've seen in a long time by the Iron Man from UTEP over Brigham Young.
Here's the 3-2. Now, once again, not a lot of outside shooting out there for Benny, but they get it inside. They do a great job.
Marvelous piece of work. That was Jones scoring inside.
Boyd and Dent really give you ball handling, and Dees has done a great job the month of February on with the substitution patterns. He knows his talent now. It took him a while to adjust. He's an honest man. He admitted it. That was a tough assignment coming in.
Hardaway with a drive. Whistle and a foul outside on Dent as Hardaway was cutting by him. Boy, does he have a quick first step.
Beats him to the turn here and then gets grabbed. There's Dent. Dent from Trenton, New Jersey. Campbell will come back in for the Miners.
Campbell wears that brace on that right knee. And that brace has allowed him to play, right?
You're right. You know, Soup is in his 6th season at UTEP. He didn't play basketball until he entered high school. Really a bad news. There's another turnover.
Sean Dent carries all the way for the layup for 2 points. His first 2.
Dent and Boyd have really given the Cowboys something.
24-22, the Cowboys out front by a pair. We're in the first half. We're inside 5 minutes. Working with Hardaway outside. Straight up against Sean Dent. This is Stallworth. And now McCall, the freshman. 3:55 to go now in the first half of the ball game.
Can't get the basketball to Santa. Willie Jones is denied.
Great drive again by Hardaway. This time he doesn't get the reverse to fall. McCall ended up with a ball and a scramble in the lane, and that draws a whistle and a foul.
That's 7 fouls on Wyoming. UTEP's got a bunch to give. Beats him to the turn once again. Look at the athletic ability of Hardaway. It's been tough for him scoring tonight. Hasn't really gotten in sync yet. There's the stick back by McCall.
McCall on the free throw line is a 57% free throw shooter, but let me tell you this, that's misleading because he just hasn't played that many minutes this year nor had that many shots. The average is going up.
You know, it's interesting watching guys shoot the basketball. Everybody thinks that you shouldn't use your palm. Boy, is that wrong. If you got little hands, use your palm. You can get better spin, much better rotation.
Reggie Fox ripped that rebound out of there, and we're with Sean Dent at midcourt. 24-23, Cowboys by 1.
Campbell really sinking back in that 3-2.
Dembo well outside. They go inside to the big guy. Lechner off the glass and through for 2.
That's like stealing. That's a good pass. Up high by Dembo, and Lechner now in double figures.
10 points for Eric Lechner. All-Western Athletic Conference center. Nice move inside by Campbell under pressure. Lechner applied that pressure and also got the board. Nice lead pass to Fox. Too far under, knocked away. Scramble for the ball. And it is lost by Wyoming. It's UTEP with the ball. Timeout has been called with 2:59 remaining in the first half of the ball game at the Marriott Center in Provo, Utah. 26 for Wyoming, 23 for UTEP. shot of Don Haskins, who has been around these parts for these many years. Went to Detroit briefly.
That lasted about 1 day. He's perfect for El Paso. I think he realized his mistake. Didn't take the deal. Went back to UTEP. Been there forever. He used to coach girls basketball and drive the bus. He's paid his dues.
Not too many coaches do have a street named after them. That's true.
What's interesting, though, both Benny Dees and Don Haskins have coached girls teams. Haskins has been very, very upset with his ball club because they've turned it over way too many times. 10 in the first half already.
McCall getting some quality minutes in this ball game in the first half. 2:38 remaining in the first half as Sando pumps from the corner but doesn't get it.
Sando's got to get inside where he can operate. Wyoming will let him pump from there.
Sean Dent outside.
They've changed their defense. It's a 3-2, but Hardaway now is at the point to try and get a little more size in the back line.
Miners knocked the ball away from Eric Lechner and out of bounds. 30 seconds on the shot clock coming in. 2:18 remaining in the first half of the ball game. 26-23, Wyoming by 3. Wyoming with the ball.
Clark had a nice move there, the official. He walks out like something's wrong with the ball. He did that so they can cool off a little bit inside. That's something to open a box score. Keeps you from having a fight like we had in the Florida game in Georgia.
Inbounds for Wyoming, side court. They go to Jones outside. Now Fox now back into the corner, and that's Dent.
To give Sean the shot. He won't take it. He'll try and get it to Lechner.
Thrown away.
Bad decision that time. Look out in transition. His kicker makes something happen. All away.
Hardaway goes coast to coast. Shot doesn't fall. However, Hardaway fell.
What a turnaround. Hardaway missed the layup, and then UTEP commits a foul. That's 5, so the ball will be inbounded.
Campbell picked up the foul. That's his first. Wyoming to bring it up. 1:50 to go till halftime. This is Dent down the middle, swings it over now to Jones, who'll pull up. Jump shot is blocked very nicely by Campbell and out of bounds.
Willie knows how to play. He's done a great job on Sandal on the defensive end ever since coming in for Summers. Got the educated elbows. He's a street fighter inside.
Jones is from Detroit. He is a senior.
Then he's gotten all 10 of his players in that he uses in the rotation.
Quick-handed, Campbell comes out of there with the ball and finds Hardaway. Hardaway's been driving all night. Shot this time is soft and good.
Got ourselves a good one. It's a 1-point game. Wyoming on top. Look at Dent.
Fox lost his balance but regained his composure. Pumps it outside. Shot not good. Follow-up rebound not good. And now there's a whistle and a foul and a battle for the rebound.
Lechner was just a man on that play.
And the basket counts.
Here's the putback by Dent that doesn't go, but it causes all kinds of confusion. Anytime you have a stick back, people forget to block out. People block out on a shot as we look at Prince Stewart come back in, but they forget to block out on a stick back. That's when somebody can sneak in if he's got the good instincts, and Lechner had him.
First foul shot coming up for Wyoming. Lechner will try to make it a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Eric missed the free throw last night that set up the scenario against CSU when Turcotte came down, tied it, and then after a timeout, Lechner caught a pass at the top of the key, threw a prayer up, was answered. That's why they're here.
Good free throw shooter, 75% free throw shooter for the year. 13 points for Eric Lechner, 29-25, Wyoming by 4.
Got a whistle. Robin Davis will come in for Dent. Dent did a great job. There's a guy who hung in there when he lost his spot. Now he's a major contributor off the bench. He turned this game around along with Turk Boyd.
1:13 to go in the first half of the ball game. Miners need a basket right now as they bring it down. Prince Stewart confronted by Reggie Fox outside. That's Sandal. He was hot earlier.
Hadn't been able to touch it inside because of Willie Jones.
Campbell's shot won't drop. And Kimbo was there to snatch it off the rim.
37 on the shot clock, 45 on the game clock. They'd like to go to Eric Lechner.
Fox likes that outside shot.
There it is.
There it is to Lechner. Soft and good. 15 points for the big guy.
Campbell did his job with the front. Stewart came over and tried to get backside help, but he's only about 6'1". Biggest lead of the night for the Cowboys.
31-25. Sando 1-on-1. Shot blocked, but there was a whistle and a foul.
Willie Jones picks it up. He isn't very happy. Sandel did a good job with penetration as ball club needed something desperately there.
2 on Jones.
Watch Chris, who started out so quick with the 10 points, has been quiet because of this man. Jones has forced him out there. Willie thought he had the good block. Sandel goes to the line.
He's 2 for 2. Checking back in, John Summers from Evergreen, Colorado.
That was a great run by Willie Jones as the coaching staff congratulates him. He did his job. He knows his role. Play defense, pound the glass.
3 for 3 now for Sandel from the free throw line. 15.9 average coming into the ball game. A battle for the rebound, a whistle and a foul, and I believe it's on Penistembo.
Wyoming really gets a break here because now they got another 1-and-1 coming.
No, Dembo was on the floor, and it was whistled against Robin Davis. Robin has 1 foul in the ball game. And that puts UTEP right back on the line. Eddie Williams on the free throw line. The Bear recruits all over the country. Williams from Baton Rouge.
They did a great job for him. A guy named Tim Floyd, who's now at the University of Idaho as a head coach. He really was a communicator, and he brought in a lot of good kids.
Brent Stewart's from Lexington, Kentucky. Tim Hardaway from Chicago, Illinois. Stallworth from Long Beach. Wayne Campbell from New Orleans. Free shot is good by Eddie Williams. He hits them both.
Talk about recruiters. This Ray Jones does a nice job. He's been around the horn. He's now with Benny Dees. I remember when he was with Bill Foster at Duke.
Penistembo.
5 seconds.
Fox from afar. 3-point bomb at the buzzer.
Well, the 3 at the Arkansas game. That is a 1-point game as they approach 2 minutes. We'll be getting there for the live conclusive moments of this game. But now, UTEP and Wyoming. Let's get back to the WAC with Bill and Irv.
Half of the ball game. And we welcome ESPN back once again to the Marriott Center in Provo, Utah, where the second half will be one of those hard-nosed blue-collar ball games. Trust me.
Sean Dent gets a start. As we take a look at what Wyoming has done, that's not very encouraging for the Miners. Sean Dent, look at him back off. They'll let him shoot it, and he won't, but he can penetrate.
Dembo has the shot. We just talked about that he really didn't shoot all that much in the first half, and he's got the first shot of the second half and buries it.
Billy flashed up from the baseline, went off the wrong foot, much like Kiki Vandeweghe does, and made it look easy.
Low Sandel. Let's fly, air ball. On the other side, however, is Campbell for 2.
You know what happened? The shot was so bad, there was no block out, and they were able to pick one up there. Sandel's got to get inside and operate.
36-30 scoreboard reading with Wyoming out front by 6 in the ball game. Alley-oop Dembo.
Can't say enough what Dent has done. That was a great back pick, though, by Reggie Fox. Dent with the pass, Fox with the pick. Neither one of them show up in the box score. All you see is the deuce by Dembo.
Hardaway with the ball outside, guarded by Dent. High to Campbell. Now they go low, baseline. That's Sandel. Under duress, scores with the right hand.
You get him under there, you can get yourself a ball game out of this thing.
Long lead pass to Fox at the other end. Block taken out of the air. Running with the ball is Hardaway. Dishes off to Campbell. He scores! Basket counts, he's fouled.
Tell you what, this Hardaway did a great job, but you've got to have people who fill the wings and keep it wide enough to operate. That's a big bucket. They could cut it to 3. Look at the transition. Hardaway with the dish, gift wraps. Campbell, Soup puts it on the ground, goes up. Jimmy Clark's got the foul. It counts.
Haskins saw something he didn't like. He made a change. Williams checks into the ball game. Stewart checks out.
Well, that's where the bear is. He ain't got any depth to work with. He's not going to put up with it.
38-34 scoreboard reading as we set up on the free throw line. This will be Campbell going for a 3-point play. And he gets it. 7 points.
Bill, not to be redundant, Sandel went inside the last time. If UTEP is to have a chance at all, that's where he must get his points.
Dembo working well outside at the moment. Now he goes inside, and Lechner flashes out.
Boy, is it nasty inside. Just the way I like it. Look at Jones and Sandel. Who they got?
Well, they were at it a little bit too heavy. Whistle and a foul on just that pair. Foul called on Jones.
Well, I think they got Sandel.
No, they got Sandel the other way around. They're both 32. Outside it goes now to Dembo. Dembo with the ball, swings it over to Dem. Lechner was off balance, but still with those good hands, got it. Nice dump off pass. But before there is a shot, there's an offensive foul.
Penetration by Dentner looked very good, but he gets nailed with the foul. 3 team fouls on Wyoming, 2 on the Miners.
3 on Dent.
Okay, Bill and Irv, we're going to leave it for just a second. We're going to Reunion Arena. Arkansas and Baylor in the semifinal of the SWC. Ron Franklin and Bob Ortigal. Last minute and a half. Baylor number 2 in white.
Ron Franklin along with Bob Ortigal from Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas, and that tells it all. Only 1:18 left in the ball game, and Baylor up by 1. And the Bears to inbounds the ball, and it's Middleton who passed up the shot, and the Bears want to run more time off the clock.
They'll run it about down to 12 seconds, possibly down to 10 seconds. They may even take another timeout when that happens. We are now inside 1 minute.
56 seconds left in the ball game, and on the shot clock, it's down to 20. Baylor leading by 1, and they're not interested in even thinking about putting it in play just yet. They'll wait until it gets down around 10. Michael Williams almost throws it away. Hobbs saved it, and now Williams looks at the shot clock. It's at 7. It's at 6. Puts up the jumper. Not there. On the tip, Francis gets it, and he knocks it out of bounds, and they're going to say it stays with Baylor. And the Arkansas fans are not going to be happy campers over that one at all.
James Francis had the excellent inside position that time. Used that strength and that big body to get good position on the offensive board and came away with a huge rebound.
34 ticks left on the clock, and the situation is 1-point lead by the Baylor Bears. And a timeout has been called by Arkansas as the ball knocked out of bounds, and in fact, we're going to take a look at that as the Arkansas fans were not very happy to see if you agree with the call by the officials.
Well, Michael Williams right here gets the jumper off to the right side. There's the deep rebound. It's kept alive on the offensive glass, and there's James Francis right there. You see the basketball.
It looked like Fury touched it just before it went out of bounds. Speaking of Fury, there is another large story as far as Arkansas is concerned, Bob. Fury has but 2 second-half points. At halftime, Ron Fury was coasting along with 17. He has right now a total of 19.
Well, he left the floor momentarily in the second half with what we heard was stomach cramps, and he has not played here in the second half like he did in the first half.
Who do you foul if you're Nolan Richardson? You got to look out there on the floor, and you look down the roster for the Baylor Bears. Hobbs is only a 53% free throw shooter. Williams is fouled out of the ball game. McLemore's a 57% free throw shooter. And I guess, what, Francis, who is perfect tonight, he's 2 of 2, but he shoots at a rate of only 39%.
Well, you're going to have to foul either Hobbs or Francis, Ron. I don't think there's any question about that, but Baylor is going to probably try to stay away from putting the basketball in the hands of those people. They would like for Michael Williams or Darryl Middleton, that guy right there, number 44, to have the basketball. so that they can get to the free throw line.
How ironic would it be if nobody scores and Baylor wins this ball game by 1, considering the last time they played, Hobbs, as we said, hit the jumper with 3 minutes left. Nobody scored for the next 3 minutes, and Baylor won it by 2.
That is correct, and we're in a very similar situation right here tonight.
Game clock down to 30 and fouled by Credit, and McLemore is the man that they fouled, and that's 4 on Mario Credit.
I think that was one occasion where Mario Credit wanted the foul called earlier. He wanted to know why the official didn't blow the whistle right away. McLemore is going to go to the free throw line. We're looking at a guy that shoots 57%, Ron.
Look at Nolan Richardson. He looks up at the clock. His team down by 1. 29 ticks left on the clock. McLemore eyes the hoop. It won't stay, and Credit comes down with a rebound. That's Freeman over to Scott, and Nolan Richardson wants a timeout. We'll hold it right here with 23 seconds left, and Baylor leading by 1, but Arkansas has the basketball.
I really think at this point, Ron, that Arkansas needs, obviously, number 1, to get the ball inbounds, and then...
We will get you back there. The winner of this game plays SMU. We've got it live to portions of the country tomorrow. We're going back for the conclusion of this one to Reunion Arena after this word. So don't go away. I don't think you will.
Day, more people depend on Subaru wagons than any imported wagon in America. And with good reason. They're reliable and durable. In fact, if Subaru didn't make your life easier...
Honey, is dinner ready?
Who would? Subaru. We built our reputation by building a better car.
The loser of this game might find himself on the bubble. Arkansas and Baylor. Baylor has not been to the NCAA tournament in nearly 4 decades. Let's get back to Ron Franklin in Dallas.
Back at Reunion Arena, Dallas, Texas. Ron Franklin along with Bob Ortigal. 23 seconds left to play. And the second semifinal matchup of the Southwest Conference, and the Baylor Bears owning a 1-point lead, 74-73. Arkansas has just gotten the ball on a missed free throw, the front end of a 1-and-1 by Robert McLemore.
They will try to get the basketball inbounds, and I'm sure they will look to make the interior feed to one of the 2 big guys, either Andrew Lang, number 3, or Mario Credit, number 55. Baylor will be conscious of that. They will do a good job of collapsing inside, trying to keep the ball from going there.
Curie, Scott, Freeman, Lang, and Credit, the 5 on the floor for the Arkansas Razorbacks. And Lang gets the inbounds pass, knocked out of bounds by Hobbs, and it'll stay with Arkansas. But a couple of ticks came off the clock.
Razorbacks need to be careful. You cannot get careless with that basketball.
Scott looking up at the game clock. 16, 15. You watch it count down. Arkansas trailing by 1. Now with the hands of Hury. Here comes the offensive set. Hury with the 15-footer. Not there. Tipped away. And Lang comes down with the basketball. 2 seconds. There is a foul in the play as the clock is run out. And let's see what Bobby Deibler has called. He called turnover, ball to Baylor. It is the Baylor Bears who will go into the finals tomorrow afternoon against the SMU Mustangs. That was not a foul that was called. He said he came down to the inbounds line. Turnover, and Arkansas has been eliminated.
There was absolutely mass confusion. Nobody really knew whether or not the horn had sounded to end the end of the basketball game or not. Inside 10 seconds, you see Ron Hury with the move to the right. He gets the jumper. Lang makes a great effort to try and get it back. Tips it a second time. Michael Williams tries to get it. Lang does get it right there. Stepped out of bounds right there. Andrew Lang was out of bounds. The official, Bobby Deibler, was right there with the call. They went to Ron Hury coming out of the timeout. Arkansas did. Their leading scorer, number 31, a sophomore, went right to him to try and let him go one-on-one on the right side of the floor.
Final score, 74, Baylor Bears, 73, the Arkansas Razorbacks. So tomorrow afternoon in the conference finals in the Southwest Conference, it will be the Baylor Bears meeting the top seed in the tournament, the SMU Mustangs.
That's a victory that pretty well assures Baylor, I would think, of going to the NCAA tournament. Now Arkansas looking good coming in. Many of you will see that game live in its entirety tomorrow afternoon, and the rest of the nation will have live reports as we cover the Metro Conference Championship game. Back to the WAC in just a second with UTEP up on by a point. Conference and the Big Sky, where we'll be going after this game is over. Bill Howard, Irv Brown, what's happening?
We welcome back ESPN. While you were away, fellas, hey, we got a tie ball game.
UTEP cut into that 6-point lead. Now they have the lead themselves. They've done it off the offensive glass. They've got Campbell and Sandel involved.
Wayne Campbell hits a couple of free throws, and we're at work right now with Dennis Dimble, but he throws the ball away, intercepted by Hardaway. Slam dunk. 9 points for Hardaway.
It's terrific the second half. Leaning on that passing lane. They don't meet the ball, and Wyoming winds up down 3.
Low, Lechner, power move, draws a foul.
It's like stealing when they get it down there.
He has hit 3 from the free throw line so far tonight. 3 for 3.
Campbell has to front him. It's their only chance. And Lechner was so strong as we look at Haskins. He pins him down, and he can't get out on him.
2 fouls on Stallworth.
Got to front that man. You have no chance if you let this guy get it with his back to the basket. He's got great natural instincts. He's got a good pair of hands.
5 fouls on UTEP. We have 4 on Wyoming.
I'll tell you an interesting story. Last year at the regional, Jerry Tarkanian wanted to know where this kid was from. California, Jerry. He says, and I didn't know about it because Tarkanian understands California kids as well as anybody. This is a late bloomer.
Misses his first free throw of the night. A scramble for the ball, and Dimble knocks it out of bounds. Dennis Dimble is in double figures with 10. We have 18 points recorded for Eric Lechner. And the Miners bring it up. They just don't quit.
Well, they'll shorten the game now. He'll use a lot of clock unless they get a gimme.
Hardaway with a good first step. Pull up, lean in, lays it up, got it. 2 points.
Can this kid flat play? That's 11. He has been the main man in the second half with his floor game. He's gotten a stick back. He had a pick. He got a layup out of it. Now he gets a good-looking shot off the glass.
Fox with a 3 and gets it. That's his 3rd of the night.
Reggie should never shoot from anywhere but out there. I mean, he's been on fire there.
Baldwin, Michigan. The hometown of that young man. Hardaway outside, Chicago, Illinois. Those Chicago kids can flat out play.
The only one who recruited him other than Haskins was Northern Illinois. And he liked the confidence that UTEP showed in him. Sandal's got a shot if he wanted.
Stallworth doesn't want that one. Let's see if Campbell will pump it. Nope.
In the paint, they got one.
Sandal with a hook under duress. Didn't get the shot to go, and on the follow-up rebound, a whistle and a foul.
That jump hook results in a foul. Wyoming get the basketball. 14 fouls on both ball clubs.
One of the primary interest points that Haskins has, incidentally, in recruiting a kid, does he come from a winning program, a high school program, in other words.
Big turnabout right here, Bill. 4 fouls on Sandal. 12:43 left in the game. And they've got to get somebody to come to the forefront while this kid is sitting out.
Sandal was in trouble last night as far as fouls are concerned against Brigham Young. Came back and played very well. Nice pass underneath to Jones. He scores 2. He has 4.
Well, he's got those long arms. Wyoming takes the lead by 1.
51-50, 12-21 to go in the ball game. Championship game of the Western Athletic Conference basketball tournament. Hardaway working one-on-one on Fox. Now Prince Stewart with Robin Davis for company. Now they go into that loose weave again. A steal by Dennis Dimble. He hits Robin Davis. The whistle had blown before the follow-up basket. No basket.
How about the pick by Dembo? Dembo steps in, took care of that weave.
Prince Stewart picked up the foul.
Davis doesn't have a point tonight. He originally went to Missouri and played for Norm Stewart. Then he went down to a junior college in Oklahoma. Winds up at Wyoming.
7 fouls on UTEP. And that puts Robin Davis on the free throw line. Misses the first.
Ken Trickey had Robin Davis down at that Oklahoma junior college. Now Kenneth Oral Roberts.
Maywood, Illinois for this young man.
Not a bad football player. Had a few offers. Boy, I tell you, his shooting has been off.
Misses both free throws. Venice Dembo tied up. Doesn't disagree.
That was a great job by Dembo. He was in the second lane, and he was able to move around, do a good job hustling.
He's been dead serious tonight.
Got to shoot more, though, Bill. I think he's one of those unstoppable guys. If he makes up his mind to take it to the hole, give the decision to the officials.
Played a great game last night against Colorado State. Perhaps his finest as a Cowboy.
Finest I've ever seen him play, including the NCAA tournament last year.
Hardaway dishes off. Stallworth lets it go. Connects on the shot.
Kid's a good shooter. Kid is a very good shooter.
5 points in the game.
Williams now has Dembo. Stallworth on Jones.
Lechner working inside in that heavy traffic. Now he comes outside, gets the pass. They've concentrated on him. Boy, a shoving match away from the ball. And we also have a 3-second violation called by Jimmy Clark out front.
There's Reggie, mentioned recruited by Creighton, University of Colorado. Tom Miller wanted him. Winds up with Wyoming.
15 turnovers against the Cowboys of Wyoming.
Turn around in the second half because UTEP had way too many in the first half.
52-51. UTEP out front by 1.
Here's the weave. The last time Dembo stepped in and picked her pocket. Problem with a weave, you end up crossing and you can be doubled. Boy, does this open it up at the foul line. Let's see if somebody flashes up. Anytime you come out and penetrate or pick up that high, it's tough to die at the post.
Drive by Hardaway brings nothing. And the rebound is taken out of by the Cowboys.
Stewart did a great job hustling back to get on Fox.
Dembo in the corner doesn't want that. Robin Davis wants that one. Got it.
That's what he usually does. I mean, normally this guy can flat stone shoot it. He hadn't done a thing in this tournament.
First 2 points in this game. 53-52. Cowboys by 1. Eddie Williams. Now Stallworth. Baseline. Hardaway. 2 more for Hardaway.
I'll take him on my team. Got a bad ankle. Now it's 100%.
54-53. UTEP by 1. Great block of a pass, but right back to Lechner. Boy, did Campbell go up in the air. That's Robin Davis under pressure. Whistle foul.
Stewart from the front side, I believe, is who they got. The backside help came from Stallworth.
2 fouls on Stewart. However, Wyoming has the bonus going for him. Penalty puts him on the free throw line.
Keep in mind, Sandel went out with his 4th foul at the 12:35 mark. UTEP has been able to hang in there. We're down to 9:48.
Checking into the ball game now is McCall. Mark McCall, the freshman from El Paso. He has a total of 4 points in tonight's game. His average is 0.7. Mainly because he didn't play much earlier with guys like Chris Blocker around. Antonio Davis. Free shot by Robin Davis is good. He has 3.
And now it looks like Robin Davis has got the rotation back on the basketball. It's so important. If you're not dead center, if you've got good rotation, it'll bang around and drop. That's that time.
We're tied, 54-54. Tim Hardaway. Watch this young man work the ball. And watch that first step when he wants to drive.
Well, keep in mind, too, Dent has 4 fouls because they were tough, but Dent was all over this guy. Layup.
Out of a broken play.
Goaltender. And a foul, Bill.
Foul called. The basket is good. Goaltending.
Hardaway hustled after the ball was deflected. Big turnaround here. All right, take a look. Campbell goes up. They thought he got fouled. Then after that, UTEP continues to get the offensive opportunities. Lechner with the goaltend. The foul is called, counted.
That's 13 for Campbell. He'll look now for number 14. His average again, 10.0.
Stallworth would go to the line.
I'm sorry. Stallworth is the man. That's 7 points for Stallworth. Lechner retrieves the missed shot. And we work with Turk Boyd, bringing it up right now. Haven't seen a lot of him this year. Dembo at the perimeter. Robin Davis squares up, buries the shot again.
Well, somebody left a wake-up call. Now everything he throws up looks good to me.
5 points for Robin Davis in the game. It's a 56-56 ball game. 9 minutes to go. And timeout is called by the Bears. With timeout called, this is the ball game. 8:59 to go in the championship game at the Marriott in Provo. Scoreboard reads 56 UTEP, 56 Wyoming. Let's take a look at this.
Let's take a look here as Davis has really started to shoot the basketball. Good rotation, and he buries one. We're back live.
Hardaway outside. Now, he has been driving all night long. They've not been able to stop that drive.
Some guys have the instincts. John Luke's the best I've ever seen. He's right there again.
Won't go. Look at that. Little man. Now Campbell. A little bit taller. A lot taller at 6'7". He gets his 13 point.
They're amazing on the backboards. They're out rebounding Wyoming by 9. Now you tell me how with that lineup.
Hardaway was doing a heck of a job inside low there for a moment. Now Lechner answers the challenge with a jumper from the corner.
Well, that was good defense. Eric pushed out of his range, and he makes the shot. I'll tell you where you earn your money. Don Haskins has a big decision. When do you put Chris Sandel in? Well, you don't do it as long as you're tied or within a deuce. This is all to his advantage if he stays even.
And you'll probably see Sandel at about the 6-minute mark, 5-minute mark. Sandel sitting on the bench with 4 personal fouls. He's the big gun, of course, for the UTEP Miners. 15 points in this ball game.
Once again, they can't use Dent because of the 4 fouls on Hardaway. Nice effort there.
Prince Stewart had a good shot, but it wouldn't drop.
When's the last time Fennis has taken a shot? Fennis got to shoot the basketball. Here comes Sandel. Here's the man who's got to shoot.
From the corner, Robin Davis squares up, lets it ride, buries it again.
He hadn't missed a shot. He hadn't missed a shot since he came back in the ballgame. He's missed 1 free throw.
60-58, Wyoming by 2, 7:23 to go in this, the championship game. Crowd gets into it.
Western Wyoming's not that far away from Provo, Utah. They got a lot of fans here. I've seen them take over a gym.
Eddie Williams with a drive, draws a whistle and a foul.
Williams beat Boyd to the turn. No shot coming.
6 fouls on Wyoming. Sandel checks in. Number 32 coming into the lineup. And number 11, Eddie Williams, will sit. Dembo picked up that foul, by the way. That's his 2nd in the ball game. No danger there. Sandel lets one go in a hurry. A little bit cold and a little bit flat on that one. No trajectory on the shot. Wyoming with the ball. They bring it down at 7:02.
Clausell Williams is in the basketball game. He's matched with Sandel. Let's see if they take it right to Sandel. Let's see if they get his 5th there.
Ball tapped away on the floor, picked up by Lechner.
Clausell Williams, the guy that threw the pass last night to Lechner. He was a quarterback in high school. Benny Dees, with an excellent move, put him in for 1 play, and it paid off with a win.
Bob passed outside. Look out, collision of players, and a foul called on number 24, Terry Stallworth. And the fans across the way, of course, didn't like it. UTEP fans.
I don't think there's any question about the call. There's Don Haskins.
3 on Stallworth. Both clubs will be shooting when next one is whistled on Wyoming. 7 against UTEP, 6 against Wyoming. And Dembo's on the line. This will be his first free throw.
Dembo only has the 2 points. I beg your pardon. He's got 4 in the second half. last night. I thought he was terrific. All right, here comes Sean Dent back in. Dent for Boyd. Dent is in there with one thing in mind, to control Hardaway. Something that is no easy task. Now, Dent is an excellent defender. He's also a good ball handler. You know, he's second in the WAC, too, behind jumping. He passed jumping Joe Caldwell when Arizona State was in the league.
Ball on the floor and the missed free throw taken by the UTEP Miners. 11 points for Dembo in the ball game. 3-point lead, Wyoming by 3.
They want Sandel to drive. John Haskins had him driving. They just couldn't find it. There he is in the corner.
Doesn't want that shot. And they've got time to work on other patterns. They talk a lot to each other.
There comes Sandel. Look at Lechner switch.
Scramble for the ball underneath. That's Campbell. Banged around a couple of times, taken by Robin Davis.
But they protected the hole. Haskins wanted a foul. They don't get it. Wyoming could jump up by 5.
5:44 to go in this, the championship game. Dent outside, clears. Sell Williams. Lob pass to Lechner. Knocked away in the corner. Deflected back inbounds and taken by Prince Stewart.
What an athletic move by Stallworth. Davis winds up with Hardaway.
Ball thrown away by UTEP. They were careless with that one. Dembo and Dent will bring it up. Crunch time. We're there. Lechner. No shot available that time.
What does Dent know his role? I'll tell you something. This guy's got that point guard mentality. Pass.
Dembo under pressure makes the shot. Basket does count.
Dennis is so strong. He picked up the foul. That's a 5-point lead.
Foul call on
Now
Campbell.
that is a shooting foul. That's not an offensive foul, Bill. So this could be a push.
There was a foul inside, away from the ball, in the battle for the board. Basket by Dembo was good. 63-58. They bring it down at the other end and set up on the free throw line with Hardaway.
Hardaway only had 4 points at halftime, and now he has 13.
Couple of bounces and it doesn't go for the UTEP Miners, so they miss an opportunity to cut the margin to 3. It's 5 at the moment.
Now, to kill the ball is no Hardaway, but he's a pretty sharp operator. He knows his role. He'll get it to the shooter.
.25 on a shot clock.
Always intrigues me when it's crunch time. A coach wants somebody out there who understands the game like Dent. Dent doesn't start, but he's in there now. Get it to the right man. Shot clock.
Dent's going to have a shot. Tap up on the rim, but not good, and a battle for the ball. And we have a whistle and a jump ball.
Goes to Wyoming. Remember the last one when Dembo did a great job tying up one of the Miners. And that now comes back to haunt UTEP because this possession goes to Wyoming.
In the corner to Williams. Dent and Prince Stewart going head-to-head. That's Lechner low. Fade away. Shot is good.
Boy, he's in his office. Now UTEP's got to pick up the pace.
Turnovers. These are the game turnovers. 16 for Wyoming. And turnovers for UTEP, 12.
UTEP's got to shoot the basketball much quicker now. You've got to take some chances. Lechner has 22, and he has been dominating down low.
Right now, the Miners need a basket.
Look at Dent.
Dent knocks the ball out of bounds. 3:47 to go in the game. 65-58. The Bear up talking to his...
Tell you what can get you back in it quickly is a three-pointer. Eddie Stites came up with a rule that was giving people a chance.
Tried to go on a alley-oop to Sandel, and there's a whistle and a foul on Clausell Williams. That's his first.
They tried to go alley-oop with Sandel, who sat out a lot of the time. There's a foul, no question about it. Sandel had to sit out with the 4 fouls. But UTEP really didn't lose any ground during that period of time. The guy who was killed UTEP late, Robin Davis.
Both clubs in a bonus now. Made the first one, so he gets another. 65-59. Wyoming by 6. And now by 5. 17 points for Sandel. Wyoming has shot the ball well tonight. 60%. Excellent shooting in a clutch ball game.
This isn't a bad move here. Sean Dent is not a good free throw shooter. People lean on him in the WAC.
36%.
Gary Colson fouled him last year in the finals of the WAC tournament. Key here, remember, Dembo has killed him from that second lane space. Dennis is clever, and he snuck in and got a tie-up that was major. Led to a Wyoming hoop down the line a little later on. People tend to forget that. It's what happened earlier.
Shot is missed. However, Dembo comes up with a basketball. And the foul, again, is whistled against UTEP, and Dent, again, will be on the free throw line, and the strategy now is obvious.
I gotta tell you what, you gotta get the rebound as we look at Benny Dees. Dennis Dembo has the knack out of that second lane space.
All right, let's see if Dent can make the first one. And he does. He has 3 points in the ball game. 66-60, 6-point lead with 3:31 remaining.
Keep in mind, Wyoming is 18-0 when they're leading at halftime.
And Dent buries both free shots. He has 4 points in the ball game.
That could be the one that buries UTEP. They got Dent to miss, and they didn't get the rebound. Dembo got it.
That's Campbell over the rim. Battle for the board, and that's 5 on Sandel. Wyoming fans wave goodbye to him. The Bear is up objecting.
Sandel did a good job with 17. Here it is. They go inside Campbell with a tough shot. And then Sandel will come across. They call him for being on the back. Washington. So Washington going to the line. Williams, let me correct myself.
It's the free shot. This is a 58% free throw shooter. 68-60, 8-point lead. McCall gets ready to come back in for the UTEP Miners. Clausell Williams makes them both.
Clausell has been in there for Benny Dees during crunch time, not Willie Jones. Wyoming is taking control of this game with a 13-2 run. And Clausell Williams has been a major part of it with his defense and his board work. He's been in for Summers and Jones.
McCall lets it go. It's off the front part of the rim. Battle for the board at the baseline. Ends up in Lechner's hands.
Here's the guy that they want on the line. They'll let him control it. Oh, it hit his foot.
UTEP ball. Lechner doesn't believe it. Neither does Benny Dees. Let's take a look at the replay.
All right, the ball will hit Fennis on his foot. And he runs over, and it just boils down to where it is. Well, you can see why Benny's unhappy. It looked like they're going to hit it. Oh,
nice shot by Eddie Williams from the corner. Has 4 points in the ball game. It's a 7-point game. 2:35 to go. Wyoming with the lead and the ball.
Here's one they'll foul. Stewart should be gone.
Prince Stewart picked up the personal foul. That will put Dent on the free throw line.
Pivotal play of this ball game was that missed free throw. UTEP was very much alive. They missed a free throw. Talking about Dent. And Dembo got the rebound.
McCall checks back into the lineup, and Prince Stewart will check out for UTEP. 2:32 to go. And Dent will set up on the line once more. He has hit 2 out of 3. Sean Dent, Trenton, New Jersey, turning into a hero here for the Cowboys tonight.
This floor game was superb in the first half. Wyoming was down. Benny Dees brought in Sean Dent and Turk Boyd. They changed the game.
The average is going up for that young man. 71-62, 9-point lead. 2:26 to go in the ball game.
All right, Haskins is calling some shots here now. Just about 3-point time, either inside or from the perimeter.
Hardaway is fouled at the baseline as he made the turn in the shot. Shot didn't go. Robin Davis picked up the personal foul. That'll put Hardaway on the free throw line. At least for Haskins, that stops the clock and gives an opportunity for his team to score.
The strategy is to pressure and foul Dent, but he's killed him with his free throw shooting. Sean's done a great job in the late going.
And somewhere Gary Colson is shaking his head because he did this last year, and Dent made the free shots to win the ball game.
Well, you know, but a coach has to go with his gut feeling and his instincts. It's very easy to say, well, this would have happened or that would have happened. You know, nobody has to make that decision, but the two guys right there, just right now, like Haskins and Dees, have to make the decisions. That's what they're paid for.
On your screen, you're looking at Tim Hardaway of Chicago, Illinois.
See what kind of press they put on.
15 points. Robin Davis with the ball, 71-64. Wyoming with the ball and the lead as Davis.
Got to get the clock stopped. You can't be selected. Foul. There it is.
And, of course, they foul a good free throw shooting man, and Fennis Dembo, who is an 82% free throw shooter. San Antonio, Texas, the hometown of this young man.
You can get back in a ball game, though, fouling somebody.
Hardaway with 4 fouls.
You know, I can't ever forget the year Valvano won it. When North Carolina State did it at Albuquerque. He had no shot coming through a regional. He's playing Pepperdine. He's dead in the water. They fouled people and forced him to beat him at the line. He did that the next game.
Fennis Dembo on the free throw line. Now has 14 points in the ball game. The leader, of course, is Eric Lechner with 22.
He was the cover boy for Sports Illustrated when they were picked 4th in the country preseason. They ran off 13 in a row. People got very excited. They lost a couple down in El Paso and Albuquerque. BYU beat them at home. And then the town was upset with Benny Dees. Now, Benny could be the main man. He could be the mayor. He's playing good basketball.
They turned his house into an omelet. 3-point bomb by Hardaway outside. But he has 18 in the game.
Bill, there's just no quitting these kids. You know they're dog tired. They got no legs. All they've done is lay around up here and rest. They continue to battle. Very, very much an uphill go right now.
They can't get to Dent. That's the man they wanted to foul.
I don't think he can be selected. I just think you got to get a stop. Doing a pretty good job of keeping it hot. They spread it pretty good. Layup.
Dent's shot won't go, and the rebound is taken out of there by UTEP. They're running. Hardaway down the middle. He can fly. He scores!
Are you kidding me? They make a free throw. They're 1 3-pointer away. Is this kid sensational? You talk about going coast to coast. This is a blur. This looks like Ricky Green. Worth another look. We're going to split the seam. Continuation. They're right in the ball game now. You make the free throw, get a stop at the other end. You need a 3-pointer to tie.
And if you think he's doing well tonight, you should have seen him last night. Marvelous against Brigham Young. The winner of this game automatically goes to the NCAA tournament.
And I would think that if the loser doesn't go, there's going to be a lot of disappointed people. People out in the WAC feel that these two teams will go, BYU. They think they have 3 other teams that have a shot at a tournament. NIT.
Free shot is good. 21 points now for Tim Hardaway. And it is a 73-70 ball game.
There's the foul. All right, they'll send Fox to the line.
Fox is a good free throw shooter. 80%. Obviously a great three-point shooter.
Haskins will use a timeout here now. Interesting. Hardaway went over to the Wyoming bench. Benny Dees gave a drink of water. I like that, huh? Hey, it's a tough battle, but let's be friendly and race.
Hey, Wyoming people are friendly people.
We ask you please to not come onto the playing court, and we invite you to stay here for the award ceremony.
All right, 73-70 scoreboard reading, with the Cowboys out front by 3.
Well, here's the setup as we look at Don Haskins. Fox has free throws coming. What Haskins is saying, if he misses it, come down and get yourself a good shot. He let him go from the perimeter, but also don't be too surprised if Hardaway doesn't penetrate. Stallworth is their best three-point shooter, in my opinion.
Isn't that a great face? Looks like it came right out of, you know, Wake Island or...
a John Wayne movie, yeah.
Eindhoven.
There's Benny Dees. He's been solid. He did a great job at New Orleans. He had a guy by the name of Eccles. They beat BYU last year in the NCAA tournament. Then he took the job at Wyoming, where he used to play for Ev Shelton. They had a little story. Bill Streininger was being honored. He says, Benny, you played on the worst Wyoming team I've ever seen until the one I coached.
The Marriott Center, the championship game of the Western Athletic Conference basketball tournament. What else is new? It's a close one. We've had one of these every year.
Wyoming only has one more field goal than UTEP.
You know, when you look back, think what the Bear could have done with Blocker
and Antonio Davis
in this tournament.
All right, Bill, now let's see how well his kids respond, though, because he is out of timeouts. They're going to have to do all of this on their instincts. They can get a 6th timeout, but it costs them a technical foul. So he had to tell them all that during that 60-second break.
Fox makes the free shot. Not unexpected, 80% free throw shooter. He's a junior. He'll be back next year.
That's a key number right there. The +4 is what you want, but the three-point rule.
He gets them both. 13 points. 1:14 to go.
They want to clear a side for this kid. Let's see if they react. They want to clear a side. McCall didn't understand. Now they got him out of there. All right, watch him shake and bake. He'll go left and then shake.
Robin Davis slips and falls. They dish off to Campbell. Scores.
That's a good job. Oh, look at this. They got a pick, and they don't do it. A soft pass by Dembo. A terrible pass. He got away with one. They dodge a bullet.
Eddie Williams almost came up with it. Eventually, it trickled out of bounds.
Got no choice but to stick somebody unless you get a stop. There's a difference of 8 seconds on the game clock. Keep in mind, they have no timeout. If they get a turnover or something, they must shoot a three-pointer. Now, Haskins doesn't want him to foul. He'll take his chances. If they miss, come down and launch the three-pointer.
Drive, a whistle, and a foul.
Hard drive by Fox. Boy, has he contributed down the stretch.
Fox on the line. Foul on Eddie Williams. 2 free throws for Reggie Fox. 75-72. If he makes one, Benny Dees will breathe a little easier. Does not, but he gets another chance. And he can make it a 4-point spread.
Let's check blood pressures right now on Haskins and Dees. You think they're not working? Look at them.
It is a 4-point game.
Well, you got to come down and shoot as quick as you can and then foul somebody. They got to hurry.
28 seconds to go in a ball game.
Got a side cleared.
76-72. A drive by Hardaway. Block shot taken out of there by Dembo.
That should do it.
Whistle and a foul. 17 seconds to go. They'll put Dembo on the free throw line. So Wyoming right now is about to smell the roses.
Well, they're in. Unless they make a major mistake, they're in. Don't foul anybody. Don't do anything foolish.
The only thing that could cost them now would be something like a technical.
Got everybody off the free throw line. Then he's still coaching because anything can happen with young kids. Now he wants his people back in there to contest him.
16 points now for Fennis Dembo. Average coming into the game, 20.7. He's a senior.
That's a violation. Let's see if they got it. That's a violation. That's it. I'm going to tell you what happened. Reggie Fox left the line. He made a mistake. Bill, we were talking about only a miracle could pull it out. Reggie Fox left. You come down, you pump a three-pointer, and you foul somebody. You still got a breath. They got to hurry. 16 seconds left.
From outside, Stallworth's shot doesn't go. Gets his own rebound in a corner, knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. We have 9 seconds. Stallworth to inbound. Hardaway under duress. From the corner, Campbell.
They have no timeouts left. Wyoming does not have to do anything. The timeout, that's a technical foul. That's a technical foul. You can get a 6, but it costs you a T.
77-72. And we'll set up with Wyoming on the free throw line on the technical shot. Four seconds to go in the ball game. Bear was doing a little shoe in there on one of his players, Hardaway. Fennis Dembo to shoot the tee.
And it's a 2-shot technical. So you're assured of nothing worse than overtime if you're Wyoming. And this is the key one right here.
78-75. Caught up in one of the scoreboards. 78-75 as Dembo sets up again and makes the shot. He has 18 points in the ball game. 79-75, 4-point game.
Layup. Nope.
Tapped away, but picked up by Robin Davis. 1 second, and there's the horn. There's the ball game. Final score, Wyoming 79, University Texas El Paso 75.
Wyoming has the automatic bid. And of course, UTEP seems to feel that they have made the big move and have really impressed. Appreciate that. Colson said he got a phone call from one of the members of the men's basketball team. The second half is upon us.
We'd like to welcome our ESPN viewers to the Big Sky Conference Championship game in Bozeman, Montana, Brick Breeden Fieldhouse. Boise State against Montana State. Boise State in white, and the Broncos right now leading 31-26 at halftime. However, the Broncos had an 11-point lead. Montana State went on a mini scoring spree right towards the end of the first half to cut it to 5 in front of 9,000 hometown fans.
The scoring on both sides pretty well distributed evenly. D'Amico with 8 for Montana State, but the field goal percentages, Montana State has been shooting into 30% for the entire tournament, and they're holding true to that tonight. Boise State was 61%. There is the difference in the 5-point spread.
Boise State, of course, coming into this tournament, the #1 seed. They got a bye into the semifinals. They've got a 23-5 overall record. They were 13-3 in Big Sky play. I'm Wayne Zubak along with Larry Pulowski, and I'll tell you, for the first time in a couple of years, the Big Sky finally has 2 of the best teams in the league in the championship game.
Could not ask for a better matchup. The home team, Montana State, and the #1 seed, Boise State, and they're ready to tip off the second half.
31-26. Boise State leads Montana State. The Broncos and the Bobcats, and here we go. It has been an intense game. Both teams like to play a belly-up defense. They'll come out and get you. Ray Willis, number 10. Scott Pieper has it knocked away by Arnell Jones. Arnell going for the ball, picks up a foul. Arnell Jones, his third personal foul, first team foul this half. Jones, a 6'6" senior out of Chicago, and one of the candidates for MVP in the Big Sky this year.
Well, if they have to take Arnell out, that's certainly going to hurt Boise State. He's the big power guy underneath. He's going to score the point. There's a violation by the Bobcats.
5 seconds, turns it over to Boise State.
Boise State a little disjointed towards the end of that first half. A little trouble handling the ball. Montana State took advantage of it, brought it back down to a 5-point lead. Let's see if this offense straightens out a little bit for Boise State.
Tell you about the guard tandems of this game. Dougie Sotelo with the ball, Chris Childs, two of the best guards in the Big Sky Conference. Sotelo defensively, and Childs just overall. He's probably the best in the league in his position. But Ray Willis and Chris Conway, the guards for Montana State, the best tandem in the league. Underneath to Arnell Jones. 7 points for Arnell. He had 20 last night against Idaho State.
Arnell Jones again leading the nation in field goal percentage. He works real hard under the boards and he gets it down.
Chris Conway. Offensive foul. Conway, his first personal. That's the first team foul on Montana State.
Broncos started off real quick in the first half. They came out, they scored some points quickly, got ahead by as much as 13 points. But then again, like I say, towards the end of the half, they disintegrated a little bit. Let's see how they start off this second half.
Last night in the semifinals, Boise State beat Idaho State 87-56, the 31-point margin, the biggest in Big Sky postseason tournament history. They held Idaho State to 16 points in the first half. That was another record for lowest points in a half. And Boise State shot 71% from the floor last night, yet another record. Meantime, Montana State won their game against the University of Idaho by 12. Wilson Foster. Dodd with the rebound.
That's 8 points for Greg Dodd. He's really turned on here. This tournament's been good for him. He had a good game last night against Idaho State. Been real strong in the middle, a lot of rebounds.
18 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the ball game. 35-26. Scott Pieper. He's had a great game. Came into it averaging 4. Has doubled that up. He has 8 points. 35-28. 7-point margin with 18 minutes to go.
Pieper's been a lot more of their offense tonight than he normally is. The Willis-Conway combination out in front has been a little bit silent.
Well, they were silent last night, and then all of a sudden Ray Willis exploded for 18 second-half points. Dodd, turnaround jumper, gets the rebound. Tries it again. Same result. Pieper with the board. Last night, Montana State and Idaho were tied at 19 as Chris Conway takes it coast to coast. 5 points for Conway. 35-30 now.
Conway and Willis both have got to penetrate like that. Conway took it all the way down the floor. And that really puts a lot of pressure on that Boise State defense to know they've got to hustle back.
That's the forte for Chris Conway and Ray Willis. They will penetrate inside.
Well, they're so quick. They do so many things. They're great athletes. They really get down the floor well.
Chris Childs. Arnell Jones trying to go right back up again. What a muscle play.
Arnell Jones can find a way to get the ball up to the bucket. He was underneath and behind the backboard. Just found enough of a crack to get it in.
Tom D'Amico. Steve Snodgrass going right back up again. His first basket. Just for the record, Tom D'Amico, who fired that up, leads the Big Sky. 22 points a game. Arnell Jones, top field goal percentage shooter in the nation. Greg Dodd. 10 for Dodd. 39-32.
Dodd's on a tear on that rebounding, and he's got 7 rebounds already tonight.
Well, I guarantee you the crowd is into this one. Montana State, one of the toughest places to play in the Big Sky, and they are really psyched up for this tournament. It was sold out immediately after they found out they had the tournament last year. Tom D'Amico. 10 for Tom D'Amico, and if he gets hot, as you look at Stu Steiner, Montana State's coach, watch out.
Well, you can't leave him alone to take the shot because he will take it. He knows that he's got to score the points for this ball club, and he'll take any shot that he gets.
Here comes the crowd. Arnell, muscle again. He is fouled. Steve Snodgrass with a blocking violation. His second personal foul, second team foul.
Arnell Jones on Boise State's side is another guy that knows that he's got to score. And right now, there's nobody better, percentage-wise, in the nation doing it from underneath.
Stu Steiner says, I can't believe that. What do we need to do? By the way, Calvin Andrews and Mike Fellows coming in for Montana State. Arnell Jones, 67% from the free throw line, has 9 points. You thought there was noise before. Watch out as Brian King checks in for Doug Usatello. King, just a soft.